what are the common grounds of the whole human spiritual experience. And of course, what it is, as we know from the contemplative experience and the contemplative traditions, it's the understanding of profound interconnection and profound unity, that nothing is separate, everything is a network of interconnection. And then the last thing I'll say, just an introduction, is that this is where science has gone. See, the other parallel track then with the new physics, and of course Bede Griffiths was involved with that from the very beginning. So the new physics, and then the understanding of the quantum field, and the understanding of the holographic universe, and now the big sea change in my own specialty area where I have my PhD in evolution is the sea change in evolutionary biology from the competition view of natural selection to the cooperation view. What's happening now, if you look at this in the sense of evolutionary process, every time there's been a sea change in evolution, generally for the planet, within any species and our own species, there are always bottlenecks. It's actually the term that's used. There are always bottlenecks where you have to go through in order to get to the next level. And those bottlenecks, they can either be biological relative to the environment, or they can even be cultural relative to worldviews and cultural systems. Is that what happens is the old ideas no longer work. And then you have to go through a realization that, I'm not now fit for my environment. I'm not adaptable in what the environment has become. And you create a crisis situation where you're forced through some type of a major change. And the big question in any of those bottlenecks is whether it's extinction or moving into what science calls a new adaptive zone. That evolutionary process, here's the key point, is in sync with the heart. I mean, our heart tells us that there can be an amazing, wonderful potential for ourselves in this planet. Mm-hmm. And yet we were told by scientific process studies, no, process is not about this, process is about that. Mm-hmm. And the heart is swimming upstream against that. Now the sea change now this is amazing good news, which I think is why His Holiness invited David and I over to talk to him about this, is that once you have evolution selecting for cooperation, selecting for altruism, selecting for good behavior, selecting for the nice guys, then the wind is at the back of sacred activism and the world of the heart and game changers, world changers like yourself, and so many others that we work with. So the wind's not at our face anymore, the wind's at our back. We're at this time of harvest. It's very interesting. A lot of people may not know, like Ken Wilber saying, like, waking up, the understanding of this in consciousness has been around for a few thousand years. Anytime any person woke up anywhere from the Buddha onward, waking up has been there. But growing up, and then growing up, cleaning up, showing up, linking up, and lifting up, all of the ups that we talk about now. The book that we did for the Parliament of the World Religions is waking up, growing up, cleaning up, showing up, linking up, and lifting up. And I think everybody gets that. But like Ken Wilber says, growing up, in other words, building the world that reflects the world we're talking about internally, has really only been possible, let's say, in the last 150 years. But what's underneath that is the emergence of the group consciousness. Now, Teilhard de Chardin, the great cosmologist, and Aurobindo also said, our evolution is a psychic evolution. We're actually growing in our consciousness, not to just be in our own personal field, but to understand a resonant field of we and groups that's a functional resonant field. So what's going on in all of these experiments, and they're dicey, but all these experiments with groups and networks and group leadership and group consciousness and group synergy, is people that are tapping into a group field, listening to that and discovering there's another level of reality in the reciprocity of all of those people in the room that has the ability to move what's going on, and that this is actually just the beginning of one of the most important emergent phenomenon in our psychic evolution.